An army of volunteers, emergency workers and military personnel have converged on the flood-hit town of Eugowra in central West New South Wales for a clean-up effort involving houses thrown around by floodwaters. Locals are returning to find their homes in an unlivable state now and recalling the life or death moments of how they escaped.
The flood that cost Mavis Cross her home came very close to taking her life. In waters up to her shoulders, she fought to survive until help arrived.
I was very close to losing my life. If they hadn't have come, I would have just floated off. Yeah. I know I did. When I grabbed hold of the gate even started to move. Then I just had my arm wrapped around the corner of the gate.
The 85-year-old's family has come to help her clean through her possessions, but she's given up on the house.
I think it's going to go. Well, I know it's going to go. It's just too much work, too costly to repair it. So I've decided I'll let it go. And I'll live in a caravan for a while.
Alana Henry is one of the many who climbed onto the roof of her home to escape the raging waters and filmed it on her phone as rescue helicopters descended to save their lives.
We got the kids and the mum and then the grandma up there. That was easy. And then he got down on all fours and he just got me straight on his back and he just lifted me up, and I do not know how he did it.
Her belongings have been shoveled away by heavy machinery, the mess interwoven with crops swept in from nearby farmlands. Other houses were ripped from their foundations and carried hundreds of metres away, landing in the middle of roads. Justin Lampy lost his business in flooding at Molong, but wanted to come here to help.
Once we'd seen what had happened here, we heard the call for they needed help. So we've come over to do what we can, and it's just absolutely devastating here. Just seeing people's lives just destroyed and thrown all over the countryside, and now we're just picking their lives up in a bobcat and throwing it in a truck, and it just feels terrible.
Greg Austin returned to town to find his mechanic workshop in ruins. The SES volunteer managed to save the life of a woman when the floods hit, but then got trapped himself.
We had someone trapped in an ambulance.
Yep.
I get a bit emotional.
Yeah, I understand. Of course, right?
Yeah, when we finally got her out, we put her in the SES vehicle. Was back and back, and then we went under. We were lucky the fire truck come around and got us all out.
In a community now buzzing with activity, Carol Monaghan waited by the side of the road for the RFS to come and hose down her belongings.
What we can see behind us is all you have left, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, that's it. And I've got about 3 sets of clothes, which I put in my car that morning early, and her dog food and stuff like that, a couple of bottles of water.
At evacuation centres, volunteers worked hard to make sure those who have lost everything have some basic necessities.
At the moment, they've put a halt on bringing in clothes and everything. However, we can always use more cleaning supplies, more hygiene products, and apparently gumboots are a big need at the moment.
Specialists from overseas have also arrived in Australia to help exhausted volunteers and emergency workers across the region.
Pretty intense for our emergency services and our volunteers that are out there continuing to support these communities.
Joel Phillips, Sky News in Eugowra.